One day, Abba Arsenius consulted an old Egyptian monk about his own thoughts. Someone noticed this and said to him, "Abba Arsenius, how is it that you, with such a good Latin and Greek education, ask this peasant about your thoughts?" He replied, "I have indeed been taught Latin and Greek, but I do not know even the alphabet of this peasant." Going to town one day to sell some articles, Abba Agathon met a cripple on the roadside, paralyzed in his legs, who asked him where he was going. Abba Agathon replied, "To town to sell some things." The other said, "Do me the favor of carrying me there." So he carried him to the town. The cripple said to him, "Put me down where you sell your wares." He did so. When he had sold an article, the cripple asked, "What did you sell it for?" And he told him the price. The other said, "Buy me a cake." And he bought it. When Abba Agathon had sold the second article, the sick man asked, "How much did you sell it for?" And he told him the price of it. Then the other said, "Buy me this." And he bought it. When Agathon, having sold all his wares, wanted to go, he said to him, "Are you going back?" And he replied, "Yes." Then said he, "Do me the favor of carrying me back to the place where you found me." Once more picking him up, he carried him back to that place. Then the cripple said, "Agathon, you are filled with divine blessings in heaven and on earth." Raising his eyes, Agathon saw no man. It was an angel of the Lord come to test him. One day, some bandits came to the hermitage of Abba Euprepius and said, "We have come to take away everything in your cell." And he said, "Whatever you see, my sons." Then they took whatever they found in the cell and went away, but they left behind a little bag, which was out of sight. But the old man picked it up and ran after them, shouting, "My sons, take this, you forgot it." They were indeed amazed by the endurance of the old man, and brought everything back into the cell. And all of them repented and said to one another, "He really is a man of God." A brother who had sinned and was expelled by the priest from the church. But Abba Basarian stood up and went out with him, saying, "I too am a sinner." The old men used to say, "If you see a young person climbing up to heaven by his own will, hold him by the foot and pull him down to the ground, for it is just not good for him." There was an old man who had a good disciple. One day he was annoyed and drove the disciple out. Yet the disciple sat down outside the cell and waited. When the old man opened the door, he found him sitting there, and repented before him, saying, "You are my father, for your humility and patience have overcome my narrow-mindedness. Come inside. From now on you are the old man and the father, for sure, and I am the young one and the disciple, for your good works have surpassed my old age." Abba Epiphanes said, God sells righteousness at a very low price to those who wish to buy it. A little piece of bread, a cloak of no value, a cup of cold water, a mite. One day, Abba Isaac went to a monastery. He saw a brother committing a sin, and he condemned him. When he returned to the desert, an angel of the Lord came and stood in front of the door of his cell and said, I will not let you enter. But he persisted, saying, What's the matter? And the angel replied, God has sent me to ask you where you want to throw the guilty brother whom you have condemned. Immediately he repented and said, I have sinned, forgive me. Then the angel said, Get up. God has forgiven you. But from now on, be careful not to judge someone before God has done so. A soldier asked Abameus if God accepted repentance. After the old man had taught him many things, he said, Tell me, my dear, if your cloak is torn, do you throw it away? He replied, No, I mend it and use it again. The old man said to him, If you are so careful about your cloak, will not God be equally careful about his creature? A brother came to Scetus to visit Abba Moses and asked him for a word. The old man said to him, Go, sit in your cell, and your cell will teach you everything. And I hope you have meditated well.